This is Paul. I wanted to make a video about, unfortunately, the shootings that happened over the weekend. And again, my heart goes out to those people in El Paso and Dayton who had to suffer through this. And again, it's just a shame. It really is that in this country you have to go through this, and it's become to a point where it's actually normal now that we kind of expect it. And Congress, what a bunch of cowards. And specifically, these Republican lawmakers that are holding up, and specifically Mitch McConnell, who's holding up gun legislation that passed in the House, and he's holding it up since, I think, since January it passed, but he's holding it, won't let a vote go to pass sensible gun registration, legislation, and just to do something. But that's why I say I can't stand politicians. I really can't. But specifically, these Republican weaklings and President Trump. What an absolute moron. Okay, because this shooter in El Paso was directly using the same words he uses, talking about an invasion of Hispanic people, caravans, and all this stuff. This using this racist rhetoric. Okay, and of course this wacko. Okay, and I'm glad. Not glad. I'm glad he's in the right state, so they can seek the death penalty on this idiot and this moron, this coward. Okay, for killing these innocent people that were just trying to go about their lives and live their lives. And again, I blame President Trump for all of it. Because, like I said, since he came off that escalator talking about Mexicans are rapists and criminals and all that stuff, he stoked this fear in this country. Okay, this country is worse for this idiot being president. Okay, and he's, like I said, hate crimes have gone up under his watch because of him, because of his hateful rhetoric, calling African countries shithole countries, calling Mexican immigrants that come in here rapists and criminals, caravans, and calling it an infestation. Okay, using that hateful language. Okay, and now, of course, when he has a chance to do a press conference today, they're trying to blame it on video games. Are you freaking kidding me? Video games? Are you freaking kidding me on violent video games and mental illness? Spare me the BS. Okay, Japan has violent video games just as well, but you know why they don't have mass shootings? Because they don't have all these guns in this country. Okay, and they don't have this out of control, this free for all that we have with all these guns, with weapons that were meant to kill in war, where people have easy access to get those weapons. They don't have that in those other countries, and that's the reason why. And this coward, okay, he's, again, that's why I have so much disdain for him. He's an absolute cancer on this country, and I cannot wait. I'm counting the days down to that November, that election day of next year, because we have to get him out of the White House, because he is an absolute terror. Okay, he inspired, and I cannot blame, and hats off to Beto O'Rourke for calling it like it is, saying it like it is. President Trump is a racist, and his hateful language is the reason, especially for El Paso. We don't know about Dayton yet because the police haven't really found, any, they're still investigating that, so we don't know that idiot's motive in Dayton, Ohio. But we know that loser in El Paso who did, because he put his racist manifesto online before he went out and committed this horrific act. Okay, and like I said, I'm glad he's in Texas, so they have the death penalty, and please kill him. I wish they could kill him slow as possible. Okay, this absolute loser, okay, killing these innocent people, just going about their lives. And for all this crap about trying to say immigrants are criminals, these immigrants that come to this country for a better life, they're some of the hardest working people that we ever seen that come to this country. They work hard. They want to better their lives. Okay, they're not taking government assistance. They come into this country because they want to work. They want to provide for their families. Okay, and this idiot, him and Stephen Miller, I basically play Stephen Miller because he's the architect of this retarded immigration policy. That's another guy that's going to burn in hell when he dies, because he's just an absolute moron. Okay, coming up with this and trying to blame it on these innocent immigrants. Okay, these people are fighting for, and did you? I don't know if you heard about Tommy Lauren, her idiot comment that she made the other week, saying that anybody that carries their kid 200 miles in hostile conditions is a bad parent. Okay, just not having a clue about what the reason that these parents are willing to travel all this distance because they want a better life, because they're leaving violence, and they want something. They want a future for their kids. Okay, and I'm glad Chris Evans, the actor, shut her down, saying what a total clueless idiot that she is, that she can't understand why these people go through this struggle, because they want better lives for their kids. Okay, and like I said, there's a place in hell for Donald Trump and for Stephen Miller, and all these gutless Republicans that are not passing gun legislation and letting Donald Trump run amok. Okay, there's going to be a reckoning for them. Okay, and especially Mitch McConnell, who was an absolute. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come up with the words for this. He's like evil incarnate. Okay, just an absolute evil person, and karma is going to get him. And like there's a saying that my friend told me a long time ago, that everybody gets a turn, which means basically everybody's going to get. You do dirt, it's going to come around, and you're going to get, and that dirt is going to come back and bite you in the ass. That you're going to get that turn on the wheel. Okay, that you can't keep doing horrible things and pay no consequence for it. There's going to be a reckoning for these people. Okay, and again, my heart goes out to all those people in El Paso and Dayton, and you don't need the president there. Please, that's the last person to be there. And if I was those people there, I would do not even come to my state, okay? Because it's your rhetoric, especially in El Paso, that caused this. So I don't want you nowhere near my state, okay? But I think you got a Republican governor, I think in Texas, so that idiot's probably going to invite that moron down there, and well, he's going to fake it. And today, he had to read off the teleprompter, because this, when you let this idiot say anything off the cuff, he's going to say the wrong thing. So they had him stay there with his robot Mike Pence, who I believe is a robot because he doesn't breathe. Okay, to stand there while he's reading words off a teleprompter and not mentioning gun registration or gun, trying to pass gun, background checks or anything, just trying to blame it on video games and mental health. Are you freaking kidding me? And then also trying to saying in a tweet, trying to blame the media for it. Are you freaking kidding me? We got your words on tape at your hate rallies. Okay, at your Hitler Youth rallies that you hold. Okay, when you're encouraging people and disparaging immigrants, hardworking immigrants that try to come to this country for better lives. Okay, we know that you're all worried about the white people are becoming the minority, so that's why you're trying to fight back with this anti-immigrant stance. Spam the BS. Your words have consequences, and hopefully, like I said, next year your ass will be out of the White House, and as soon as you get out of the White House, hopefully they can slap you in handcuffs. Okay, what an absolute moron. And I would hope they pass some gun legislation, but I seriously have no faith in politicians. I really do. I really don't, because even though everybody's outraged right now, I think you should channel that energy and look up all those politicians that are against gun restriction and make a push to get those people out of office. That's the only thing they're going to understand, because they're only responding to the NRA money. They actually fear the NRA more than they actually fear their voters, which is actually a criminal, just a shame. And I really pray and hope. I think we should focus our energy on getting those people out of office, because I think it's just past the point of trying to even reason with them, because they're a bunch of Republicans. It's become the party of Trump anyway, and they're a bunch of gutless cowards and won't do anything because they're afraid that Trump is going to primary them. They're a bunch of cowards and weaklings, so I have no faith. I have zero faith in them that they'll do anything. Okay, no matter how many people die. Unfortunately, Congress is gutless. Okay, and they won't do anything. Specifically, the Republican Party, who's tied to the NRA. Okay, they're just beholden to them. Okay, and I have zero faith that they'll do anything. So the only thing to do is to vote them out of office. And someone should come up with a list of all these NRA Republicans and primary, not even primary, them, get their ass out, get them out of office. Okay, replace them. That's what they should do. You should even, I know everybody's saying you should call, Mr. McConnell should call back the Senate from recess so they can pass the legislation. But I have zero faith that's going to happen. Okay, because Mitch McConnell loves being the bad guy. He doesn't care about anything. All he cares about is money. Okay, so you got to affect his money before he does anything. Okay, just a slime ball politician through and through. So I don't think anything's going to happen unless you threaten his money. Okay, and that's why I think those people just get him. I know he's up for re-election next month, and I know it'll be a hard thing to do, but I would push all those people in Kentucky protest in his state and get him out of office, because I don't think anything's ever going to happen with him being the Senate leader. You gotta flip that Senate. Okay, that's the only thing you can do. Flip that Senate so they're no longer in power, because they're a bunch of cowards that won't do anything. And he hates being called Moscow Mitch, but that's exactly what he is. And he's a gutless coward who won't do anything to upset President Trump, who, like I said, he's another weakling. Okay, and he talked about being not afraid of the NRA, but as soon as they had a meeting with him, and they probably told him, "Listen, bitch, we gave you $30 million. You're gonna do what we want," and then he backed off, just like the coward that he is. Okay, and so I have zero faith in him, and I have zero faith in any politician, to be perfectly honest. Okay, but I think the only way you want to get some gun legislation passed, you got to flip the Senate. That's the only way you're going to do it. I think that's the only way it's going to happen. You're going to have to flip the Senate, okay, and get the Democrats, and then make them pass, or vote out. Even some Democrats, I think, that are NRA members, if they don't not vote, get them out of office as well. You got to put pressure on those NRA-backed legislatures, and put the pressure on them, okay? And if they don't change their vote them out of office. I think that's the only thing they understand, because money is the only thing they understand. Okay, that's the only thing. They're beholden to the NRA. So that's the only, you got to affect their money. Okay, and voting them out of office would be the perfect revenge. And again, I'm just disgusted by this. And again, I knew this weak president wouldn't do anything. Just make a speech where they told us, "Dumb, listen, stupid, just read off the teleprompter. Don't go off the cuff." Okay, it was blaming on mental health and violent video games. And he finally said the words of white supremacists. They kind of, they forced him to say it because they knew everybody expected him to say it, but he didn't say anything about his rhetoric, okay, which led to the shooting. And I definitely blame him for the El Paso shooting. And people are saying, "Oh, well, the El Paso shooters are saying, I had these views long before Donald Trump was in office." Yeah, but he gave you the emphasis to do it. And why would we take his word for anything anyway? He's a psycho. He's a nutbag that killed innocent people. So screw him. I don't care if he says Donald Trump didn't inspire him. He did. He inspired his moronic self. If he had these feelings all the time, how can he didn't do it all those years ago? No, you did it because you saw a president that was clearly spewing out this hate. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna do something about it." Okay, and you did this horrific act. So screw that, and screw the Republicans. I'm done with this. Okay, I'm just completely done. You got it. That's the only way. Like I said, get them out of office. You got to vote them out of office. That's the only thing they understand is money. You got to get them out of office. Somebody should get a list of all those Republican NRA-backed Republicans and Democrats. If there's some there, which I'm sure they probably are somewhere, and you got to vote them out of office. That's the only thing they understand. You got to flip the Senate, and you got to get these NRA-backed weaklings out of office. That's the only thing I think is going to ever change. Okay, because I don't even think Mitch McConnell. They say, "Oh, he hurt his ankle, he fell and broke his." They say he might have hurt his shoulder. Screw up, please. You can still call the Senate back and do that, but I don't think he's going to do it, or because he's just such a weakling, such an evil person. I have zero faith in him. Okay, and zero faith in any politicians too. And again, my heart does go out to those people in El Paso and Dayton, Ohio, who had to suffer through these tragedies. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to stop until we actually do something. You're going to have to do something. And like I said, we need a new president. Get that infestation that's in the White House out of the White House, okay, and flip the Senate. That's the only way it's going to work, okay, to get something done, because these politicians are just too weak and beholden to the NRA. So I have zero faith in them. And again, my heart goes out to those people out there and that's going to be emotionally scarred for life. And like I said, I'm glad that idiot is in El Paso, Texas, where they have the death penalty, and hopefully they can torture his ass before they kill him. Okay, because I have zero sympathy for him and zero sympathy for Donald Trump. Again, his rhetoric led to this exactly, and I definitely blame him. His words have meaning and have action, and all those idiot people that behind him sitting there laughing while he spew all this racist, moronic stuff behind him, I blame them as well. Okay, you support an evil, and it's, again, I said it before, it's like P.T. Barnum, he's a carnival barker. That's all Donald Trump is. He's a cult leader and a carnival barker. Okay? You get a sucker born every minute. Like P.T. Barnum said, you get a sucker born Every minute, some people are just willing, are just sheep and willing to be led by the nose. Just a bunch of morons sitting behind him. I have zero sympathy for any of those idiots behind him that sit behind him wearing those stupid dumb red hats. Make America great. Screw you. Okay? You make America great my ass. Okay? Spare me the BS. Okay? I have zero sympathy for them and all these weak ass people that try to make excuses for Donald Trump and his hateful language. They twist themselves into pretzels trying to justify his racist, idiotic behavior and trying to justify it. They twist themselves into pretzels trying to justify his hateful rhetoric. And I cannot wait for the day, his reckoning. Okay, he has a reckoning coming. And like I said before, everybody gets a turn, and his turn is coming. Okay, and again, my heart goes out to those people in those two states, El Paso and Dayton, Ohio. And okay, and my prayers with you, and hope you. I know it's going to be hard to get over, and I just hope, like I said, there's only one thing. You got to get this orange idiot out of the White House, and you got to flip the Senate. That's the only way I think you're going to be able to pass anything. Okay, you got to get those two things done. Okay, else everything is just hot words. Okay, because I have zero faith in those Republicans. A bunch of cowards and sheeps. They won't stand up to the president at all on anything or the NRA. So I have zero faith in them. Okay. I'm sorry for ranting so long, but I had to get all this out because I've just been thinking about this and watching the coverage, and it's just really, I'm fed up with it all. Just completely fed up with it all. Feel free to leave comments down below and let me know what you think. Okay? Take care.